Hi everybody, hopefully you're here. Everything's going well. It's just afternoon Eastern Standard. So we're trying a lunchtime thing, see how that goes. Today we're doing mac and cheese poutine. It's a fun take on a Canadian dish that I've never had, so we'll see how this goes. There's a lot of things in this dish that I haven't done before, so I'm excited. Altogether, it should only take like 40 minutes beginning to end, so it's a pretty quick dish. I wouldn't say it's lazy though, because you're using 3 burners, cutting board, and oven like all at the same time. So it's a little fussy. There are things you can do ahead of time, so we'll talk about that as we go. So let's just dive right in and get started, because I'm hungry. Hopefully you guys are on lunch hour or getting close to lunch hour and are getting hungry so we can eat together. Very first, wash hands. And I'm going to get some water started for my pasta. So I just do those at the same time, that way the water can heat up while I'm filling the pot. And then I have nice hot water to wash my hands. Then want to get that going. Make sure you salt your water. Just a pretty generous salting, because we can control the amount of salt later on. We're cooking fries with this, and that needs to be at 450. So we want to get the oven started as well, warming up. And then while that's warming and the pasta's going, we're going to work on a sausage gravy. Alright, so I can move that. We'll go ahead and cut up our sausage. I have some Cajun style Andouille sausage, so it's nice and spicy. And we're just, Kenzie, hello, how are you? Hopefully you're having a good day. So we just want to dice this up. Not too small, but it also doesn't need to be too large. Let's see. I just want to double check, because a lot of times they have these easy peel right in the corner. Pretty laggy? Okay. It's probably my internet. I don't know what more to do. We're working on it. We'll make it work. Yeah, thank you for letting me know. I'll have to rewatch it and see if there's anything I can work on. I mean, I don't know. Sorry, now I'm completely lost. I don't remember what I was trying to look up. For the gravy, it just asks for half a pound of sausage. Yes, my cat wants to go outside because it's nice and sunny, so she is being very vocal. And she can now smell meat. Okay, so yes, I have 12 ounces, and it calls for half a pound. And I'm doing 2 packages, so that's technically going to be 3 pounds, right? There we go, pound and a half. I'm doing it the wrong way. So I have 12 ounces, so 24 ounces is a pound and a half. So that means that I'm going to triple my recipe. Stuck in school till 3. Well, hopefully this gives you a good place to chillax for a bit. I'm just trying some poutine mac and cheese. Mac and cheese for me, poutine for Rooftop Tim. Because I love my Canadian brethren. And we're doing spicy sausage because it's delicious. She's been like this all morning. She's probably actually telling me to go back to bed. She was really good until I got out of bed. And I'm having a pretty bad pain day. I'm just trying to get through it, which is why I'm getting distracted so easily. Fexy, hey, what's up? How are you? We're making some poutine mac and cheese. So we've got the oven started for our fries. We've got pot of water boiling that's salted for our pasta. And then we've just got to dice up the sausage. And that is going to be the base for our gravy. I like to do a diagonal cut. I think it looks kind of fancy. And then I'll probably cut these a little smaller, but it's however you like it. Because the sausage is going to be added on top of the mac and cheese. So we just want to make sure we get that good flavor for the gravy. Sweetie, I said no. If you have sharp knives, this is going to be much easier. I'm only doing 2 at a time just to make sure I'm staying nice and safe while I'm cutting this. Especially since I'm having a pain day and can't concentrate very well. Hopefully it'll get better after I eat. I don't know, my stomach's upset from dinner, so food might actually make it worse. But we'll figure that out later. Let's see. Cat the Mal, hi! Finishing up work. I understand, my love. We're doing poutine for my Canadian friends, yourself included. Today is mac and cheese. Thursday is going to be a Big Mac poutine, which is what Rooftop Tim requested. I'm just trying a lunchtime thing to see how it goes with my internet, how it goes with people, if they like it. I just know my content tends to lend itself better for people to lurk, and so why not have something delicious to watch and lurk on while you're working? If people prefer it at night, or I end up preferring it at night, or my internet doesn't want to cooperate and it has to be at night, then that's what we'll do. My thinking was just that people want to play games after work. They want to relax. And yes, I do a lot of relaxing, and this is a kind of relaxing thing to watch, but kind of hard to watch if you're also playing games. And there are a lot of other people playing games. So I want to make sure everyone can get to all the things they want to do, myself included. But this week's weather has been ridiculously amazing. And I, of course, have been super moody, so seeing all this sunshine, and I can't even get out of bed. But this time of year tends to wreak havoc on my body, so I'm trying to be patient. Hopefully, some delicious food will help. And then I'm trying this like shorter streams and doing 2 cooking streams, because I know people like the cooking streams, to see if it helps, because it took me 10 days to wash the dishes from last time, and that's kind of a problem. Alright, so this stuff now we're done with, needs to just be washed. Again, if you want to cut it up smaller, do so. I just like the slightly larger. So to this, we want to start heating it up so we can make the gravy base. Since I tripled it, we're doing 1.5 pounds. We want 3 tablespoons of oil. So fairly generous, because we want to fry this up over a medium heat to get it going. And you just want to make sure that the sausage is fairly coated. And then, since my hands are covered with meat, I gotta wash them real fast. I dropped a piece, so now the cat has her tithe, and she is happy. Lethal, hello, thank you for the tab. I appreciate that. I double checked and it didn't seem like anyone else was live right now. From the main group, I think I saw Velocity jump on just as I went live, and I think Ho was also live. So I'm trying to find time so people can make the rounds a little more easily. It's just hard when there's hundreds of people that I follow and there's always someone live. Okay, so I need a spoon. And if I had cut this down more, it probably would be a little more even in the pan. But we'll make it work. Again, I'm doing way more than I thought I was going to be. But I don't have much control over what groceries I get, so we just make do. I'm just getting out extra butter because I realized I'm going to need that. There we go. Alright, so that's almost ready. We can go ahead and get the fries ready since that's almost time. So for that baking sheet, my kind of lazy hack for this, I'm putting tin foil down. Sains, how are you? We're just cooking right now. We're doing some poutine mac and cheese. I can't really call it lazy cooking because there are a lot of things moving, a lot of things going on at once. None of it's super crazy, but it's still just a lot to keep track of. So we're doing 1 pound of elbow pasta. You can do whatever kind of pasta you want. We're just doing mac and cheese, so we're doing elbow macaroni. 1 pound, get that warmed up, and then I'll turn it down to a medium. I want it low and slow for most of this stuff. Then my oven is at 366, so we're just getting some fries prepped because that's going to take about 20 minutes to cook while we heat that up. And I just have the Orida. I'm doing the golden shoestring because I want kind of your McDonald's type fries, the things that you get the store, as opposed to like a thick cut. I'm just doing half a bag. So I'm measuring half with my hands and I dump that. And then put the rest in the freezer because you don't want that to melt too much and get freezer burn. Alright, so my water's boiling, turn that down to a medium. My sausage is starting to sizzle, which means the pan's warmed up. Probably put that more directly over the heat. What are you up to, Saints? Is it lunchtime for you? Are you stuck at work? What's going on? What's the plan? And then for the fries, I just want to make sure these are evenly spaced. They're pre-salted, so I shouldn't have to add anything. You want those in a single layer. Using the aluminum foil is going to make for much easier cleanup. And then for a little extra bite to it, just put some cooking spray. Almost lunch? Yeah. That's kind of what I was hoping. I thought this, since I make people hungry, why not do it closer to lunchtime where everyone eats around the same time? So that way, it's a little less painful. An eye appointment. Ooh. Some orange chicken does sound really good. Starving, yeah. It's Cajun andouille sausage, and that's what we're going to make the gravy out of, so we'll have a nice spicy gravy. I have never made gravy before. I've never had poutine. I've never had cheese curds, so we're trying a lot of different things. So we're just doing a nice quick fry on the sausage. Since my pan's a little full, I do have to move it around a smidge. But I don't want to move it too much because we want to get a good sear on the sausage. So that's the oven. Just means the fries are going in. Set my timer. I just wanted to double check because my package directions are slightly different from what is on. Yes, take a picture and let me know because that sounds awesome. Okay, so I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes. We'll double check then. even though it says anywhere from 13 to 21. We want to make sure this heats through evenly. Give it some time. Make sure to keep stirring the pasta so it doesn't stick together. And then I cook my pasta based on how it feels. Mexican Hulk, thank you so much for the bits. I really appreciate that. Hopefully you're having a good day. If it's the start, the middle, towards the end, I don't know. We're making some food. I'm hungry. But again, this should all come together around 1 o'clock, and then we can sit down and eat. That's the plan, give or take. The recipe says about 40 minutes from start to finish. First time I do something, it normally takes a little longer, so I estimated about an hour. Just because I tend to go a little slower the first time around, a little cooler of heat, so that I know what it's supposed to look like and what I like for it to do. Probably put a little too much oil. I probably should have measured, but it will be fine. Because from this, we're going to make a roux, just like we're going to make a roux for the cheese sauce. Alright, I need more cheese. Should be fine. Should be fine. That sausage does smell good, though. Like, really good. One of the downsides with trying to do this during the day, as it's sunny, I don't have lights bright enough to combat the sun, so I have a brighter light behind me, which isn't very helpful. It makes it hard to see things. But if I end up doing this more, cooking during the day, like, I don't know how much you guys really care to see me versus the food. So I could always take off my face cam and just give you the food, the full picture of the food, since I think that's way more important. And then I don't want to overcook the sausage, so I am keeping in mind that once I take it off the heat, it's still going to cook a little bit. I just want to try and make sure both sides get a pretty decent sear to it. I don't cook sausage very awesome. Oh, thanks, Saint. Okay. I just don't know what to do to help with it lagging. I turned off all other programs. The only thing pulled up is OBS. I just have the music running and I have OBS running. I did turn my other, my desktop on, but it shouldn't be running anything. I turned everything off on there. So I don't know. It could just be that I'm on shared internet through Comcast and there's too many people doing schoolwork right now. I was hoping over lunch break it wouldn't be too bad. So I do apologize. I'm just trying different stuff. I'm not frustrating to hear that everything's still lagging. I should be. Maybe not. I don't know. Because I'm running Stream Elements, not Streamlabs OBS, so that it would take less on my tablet. Because apparently it wouldn't run properly on my laptop. So I switched to the tablet. And it's the only way I can do these cooking streams. How I've been doing these cooking streams, so I don't know why, if these have been issues the whole time and no one's told me, or if they're new issues and it's something I have to take up with my service provider, or what's going on. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry, like I said, I just trying to cook a nice meal and hopefully share it with people, but if it's obnoxious to watch, then I don't have to do that. I don't know. I don't know. What? Did I do something funny? I don't know. Apparently I'm super unself-aware. I don't know when I'm funny or not. I try and go through my streams for clips, and I don't see anything entertaining for like Instagram shorts or YouTube shorts. I don't know what other people find amusing, apparently. My sense of humor is quite different, so I don't find myself very amusing. Okay, so I think that has a pretty good sear on it, so we're going to take the sausage out, set it aside, use the oil, melt some butter. I'm going to turn it down just a smidge because I don't want it to cook too quickly. So we're going to melt some butter in that to get our roux started. We've still got about 7 minutes on, yeah, probably the pasta and the fries. So once all this comes together, that should be good. And once we get our gravy going, then we can start on the cheese roux for the pasta. Alright, so I need my bowl, got my whisk, spatula, because we want that good sausage flavor in there. Oops, as I splatter everywhere. That's okay. And since I have a metal spatula on a non-stick pan, I am being very careful not to scrape the bottom with the tip because I don't want to scrape my pan up. And then since there's still some oil on this, it's still warm, like I said, it's going to keep cooking. That's fine. That's what we want. I'm trying to make sure I don't overcook it, so I'm pulling it off a little sooner than I would if I was just putting this directly in the food. Alright. So then we want to put the butter in. And for every half pound, we want 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. So that means 3/4 of a stick is going in. And no, we're not trying to fry the butter, we're trying to melt the butter. And this I have over low. Again, I'm not trying to cook anything. We're trying to incorporate it all. It's okay for the butter to get bubbly like this. That's what I want. I like a good brown butter, so it gets a nice caramelization color. I think that adds extra flavors. It's slightly sweeter. You can use salted butter. Just be aware of the salt content. If you use unsalted, then you can control the salt later. I'm personally using salted because I need that extra salt in my diet. If you don't, then just use unsalted so you have less and you can add in just the amount you want. And I'm just trying to make sure I scrape up any extra from the sausage. I want that to incorporate. Like I said, there's a lot of moving parts on this one, so I can't exactly call it lazy. It's all cooking at once, which makes it easier because then you aren't cooking multiple times. Okay. So then we want to add our flour, equal parts butter to flour. So for 2 tablespoons of flour, or 2 tablespoons of butter, we're adding 2 tablespoons of flour. We had 6 tablespoons of butter, so we're adding 6 tablespoons of flour for the base of our roux. 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you want to whisk that together so that there are no clumps. And this, you can have the heat completely off because again, we're not trying to cook it down. We just want this incorporated. And it shouldn't take long. Like I said, you just want to make sure there aren't any clumps. This is going to make a nice thick liquid, which is why we're doing the same thing for the cheese. We'll do another roux after this. I'm just going to be reusing this gravy on Thursday's poutine stream, so that's why I'm doing extra. And then so to this we're adding 3/4 cup, but we're multiplying that by 3. So 2 1/4 cups of chicken stock. And I have let this sit out of the fridge so that way it's not something cold going into a hot pan, which can cause major problems. So now that just needs to cook down. Alba macaroni is getting close. Breezy, hello. Sans, that's fine. We got a little bit longer anyway on everything. We've still got to make our cheese sauce and then start putting this all together. The fries are getting close. I'll have to check them in about a minute. So now we just want to mix the oil, butter, and flour into our chicken stock. Since we're doing a sausage gravy, we're using chicken stock. If you're doing beef gravy, then you can do beef stock or veggie if you're doing more of a veggie base. Just want to add that liquid for it to thicken up and make your gravy. Alright, so that's my first timer. Let me check the fries. Yeah, they're starting to crisp up pretty nicely, so I think we're good. I'm gonna put them in a little longer. I just need to rotate the pan. Just gonna give it like 3 minutes, I think, which is about what I expected. So. Okay, so for those 3 minutes, we want to get this going. But at the same time, we need to start working on our cheese sauce. So for that, it's very, very minimal amounts. But same thing, you want to melt the butter. So I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of butter for the cheese sauce. For now, I'll do that on this back burner, because macaroni is not quite ready. Actually, I should be able to swap this around, so let me try that. Because the gravy I need to keep whisking, so that I need to make sure I still have access to. But we'll go ahead and get this. We just don't want the flour to settle or get lumpy. We want to make sure that stays fully incorporated. So about 3 to 4 minutes of whisking for it to thicken and cool slightly into the nice gravy, and then we'll add the sausage back in. And then my other whisk broke. Mama Zug, hello, thank you. We're getting close to the end. We've got another minute or so on the fries, about the same on the macaroni. As I'm doing that low and slow, we're just doing our gravies, making sure those thicken. Making the roux for the cheese sauce. So again, this isn't exactly lazy because there's a lot moving going at the same time. But I'm pretty sure I timed this all out. The way the recipe's written, it doesn't follow a pretty good order, so things won't come out at the same time. My grandma is excellent at that. It absolutely blows my mind. She always can time things perfectly. And I'm sure it's just experience, so that's what I'm trying to work on. So our fries should be good. I gave them a few extra minutes. Yeah. So we have some light ones, we have some crispy ones. Gordon Ramsay, I hope. That would be nice. So I just want to let those cool a little bit. I am going to toss a smattering of salt, just a smidge. Like the grill. It's always best to salt right out of the oven. Again, make sure. So this is the part right before it comes together where it's a little hectic, because this needs to keep being stirred, that needs to keep being stirred, this is starting, so it's a little hectic. Alright, That's almost. So let me go ahead and get the flour in again, equal parts. So for 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of flour. And I'm just using an all-purpose, unbleached white flour. I had 2 whisks, but it broke and I haven't had a chance to fix it or buy another one. You like to use the grill? Yeah. Hopefully, as the weather gets nicer, I'll be able to do more stuff and do some grilling, because I would like to learn how to grill more too. Alright, so same thing, you just want to make sure the butter and flour get fully incorporated, try and get the lumps out, cook out some of that flour taste. Don't want to overcook it. This one you're not going to get a ton of the butter or a ton of the flour flavor because we're adding so much cheese. So to this we're going to add milk. And just 1 cup whole milk. I have 2% milk. You can also use half and half. You can use what you have. Whole milk is just going to be a fuller flavor. Just like buttermilk will give it a slightly different flavor. Again, I took it out of the fridge so that I'm not putting cold milk into a hot pan. It's room temperature. And I did wait until my milk is pretty much almost expired, so it's still edible. I tried it yesterday. And I'm no more sick, so I know it's not that the milk's bad. But I probably won't use the milk after this because it has been sitting out for a few hours. So now this I need to drain so I can take that off the heat. So I'm just going to throw that on the back burner because I don't want it to keep cooking. It's been drained. Do not rinse the pasta. We want that sticky texture. All right. So you can see a little better. I'm going to move the gravy. Oof. Very carefully to the front. Try not to spill that everywhere. So that would be great. And then I'm going to re-add the sausage to my gravy. T-Mac, hello. How are you today? Hopefully you're having a pretty good day. All right, and I think we're ready to add our cheese. So this does call for cheddar. I like using different cheeses, so I'm starting with a base of Mexican cheese. Again, I'm using Cajun sausage. I tend to like a spicy mac, but just use whatever cheese you like. This calls for 1.5 cups. This is 1 cup because I'm also going to add some cheese curds. But I'll see how the sauce looks. I might add more cheese to the sauce directly. You just want to whisk this so it comes to a nice, thick sauce. There. Since my cheese is a mix of white and yellow Mexican cheese, it's going to be a lighter sauce, not that rich, bright yellow that a lot of people are used to seeing for mac and cheese. A lot of times I'll do an Alfredo base, so I'll do a mozzarella cheese sauce. There. Yeah, I think that's about what I was looking for. And we can always add more cheese. Like I said, we're going to. So, taking that off the heat, moving the mac up here so that I can add my cheese. And we're just going to pour that right over and mix it in. And see, I actually planned this pretty well. I'm kind of proud. Because this is about the time I figured I'd be putting it together and starting to plate. And that's where we're at. So we have a nice white mac going on here. Oh, look at that cheese. That looks really good. I don't know if you can see it well enough. I can slide over a smidge. But that is a nice cheese sauce. And like I said, we're going to add the cheese curds on it. Beard Foo and Iska, yeah. Show on up. I'm probably going to have plenty left over. Plenty. So now for plating. Normally I eat mac and cheese out of a bowl, but I think we're going to try this on a plate and see how this works. Okay, so for this it says to put all of this in a skillet and like serve on the table and everyone just kind of like takes a scoop. I'm just doing a single serving because I want to keep these separate for later. But we're going to start with the mac and cheese on bottom. That's our good base. And a nice little mound going of mac and cheese. Well, I'm going to flatten that because we want to put fries on top. Okay, so now we're at that, and these again are the shoestring fries, so it's going to be similar to like McDonald's fries. Then we want to put some cheese curd, because poutine has cheese curds. No kidding, you do not get any. Okay, I don't understand this packaging. Like, there was a tie on it, and then, so I go to open it. That's not... The packaging is just splitting apart. It's not opening. I don't get it! I also really like the shoestring fries. They're just a good flavor. Alright. So I'm just going to tear up some cheese curds, toss those on there. And so if you serve this for like a family, then you can just throw this all in a skillet. Do the macaroni, throw the fries on top, throw some cheese curds, then you're going to put the sausage and top with some gravy. So that way people can just Grab a spoon, dig in, plate up. I'm just trying to make it look a little extra fancy. It does not want to cooperate at all, apparently. There. There, look at this gravy. Oh, that turned out. I'm so excited. I've never made gravy before. Look at it. As it keeps cooling, I definitely need to keep stirring because it's trying to separate from all the butter and oil I put in there. But it looks like a gravy. It's working. Okay. So then the sausage. And again, I'm just trying to make this look a little extra pretty because I want to take a picture for you guys and for myself so that I can come back to this in like a month and be like, oh yeah, that was delicious. I want to make it again. Because I've done that with some other recipes. It's kind of exciting. All right, and then we just top with some gravy. And then since this is all pretty close in color, you can top with like some parsley. I'm going to top it with some green onion because I did spicy and I like green onion. But it also just adds some extra color in there. So that's where we're at. Again, this is done in an hour. If you have stuff prepped, so the gravy separate, the mac and cheese separate, you can reheat this very quickly. So this will probably be like dinner later, it'll be lunches. It's mostly just I don't want the fries to get soggy, so I'll keep those separate. And then we'll try a different version of poutine on Thursday. All right. Beard, if you want to come serve up, I got plenty. You just got to show up. Showing up's the hardest part. Okay, quick photo. That's what I was trying to do. There's so many layers, like I don't even know. Let's try it this way. And a top down. Normally I do top down, but it's hard to tell what all is in there. All right, and then since we didn't salt, do you have to bring your own pants? I'm not wearing pants. I'm wearing shorts because I felt like I had to put something on. More gravy. Let me try it first. So I did not add salt and pepper to the gravy. I did not add salt and pepper to the cheese sauce. So that's probably something that will need to be added. I chose not to. That's part of the recipe, is to salt and pepper to taste, because I wanted to wait and taste it all at the end and see what I think. So we got some fries, we got some mac. We got some cheese curd. We got some gravy, hopefully. Okay, that's good. With the spicy sausage, I really don't think it needs any pepper or extra salt because I had salted butter and I had salted the water pretty heavily. Okay, so give me just a moment. I'm going to clean up a little bit. Meh. I just want to put away the cheese because I know my cat's going to try and get into that. And then we're going to attempt to move to my table and hang out while I eat. Which means it's time to upgrade to a soda. It's caffeine time. All right. So bear with me because music's going to have to stop. My fridge needs to remember to close when I tell it to. All right. There, so that's done. We need to switch the mic over. Transition to this. Hope for the best. Yeah. I did forget to plug in my tablet yesterday, so I do need to make sure to do that. Otherwise, I'm definitely going to lose you. Okay. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Let's see if I can get you a decent view of the food. No, that's going to close. I'm trying. There. Okay. There. Welcome to my table. Welcome. You're hungry now? Hopefully it's lunchtime for you so that you can eat. Let me see what I can do for you guys to make this a little better. There. It's a little better. Not perfect. There's my kitchen in the background. Now cleaning. Oh. This did turn out really well. So again, you could just do the different parts. This is, if you want to do lazy versions, just do the gravy with the sausage. Start there and put that over some fries or something. I just did store-bought fries. You can even just go buy McDonald's fries. Like, who cares? Instead of cheese curds, just use whatever cheese you have. The macaroni and cheese, do that separate. But you saw me. I've never made gravy. I've made a roux before, but I've never made gravy. So that made me very, very nervous. I actually woke up hours ago, exhausted, but I couldn't stop worrying about messing this up and things just being a mess. So I'm glad it worked out. Now we can hang out and have lunch. So how is everyone's week going? It is Tuesday already? It's Tuesday. She wants so much attention. Coltino, hello. Just finished making poutine mac and cheese with andouille sausage gravy. I don't know. This turned out really good. Probably not the fries, because again, if I were to package this all up, I don't want the fries to get soggy. So I'll have to let them know to get their own fries. Just, you want the fresh crunch. Like, that is really nice to have. The macaroni and cheese turned out really well too. And I know I'll eat the mac and cheese. I am using the gravy on Thursday, so I don't know how much gravy will be left over. I'll have to double check my recipe, but I'm pretty sure it called for gravy, like pre-made. And this turned out so good. I do like trying new things with the cooking. It just takes a lot of energy out of me, especially when I'm already struggling. I'll probably be sick tomorrow because I don't do well with pork or dairy. Oh yeah, or flour. Or potatoes. Yeah, I'm gonna be sick tomorrow, but it's worth it because this is really good. Even the gravy turned out. I've never made homemade gravy. I'm glad it wasn't that bad. Like, even if I don't have the sausage base and I just do a homemade beef stock and turn that into a gravy. But we'll see. The next gaming stream, probably next week. Oh, sorry. They are billions. Oh my god. I should. It's just, I never got into that style RTS. My brother used to play them a lot. Oh gosh, which game is it making me think of from back in the early 2000s, late 90s? Oh, sorry. So again, pain day. My brain, not really good. I did figure out that's how you knew if and when, because it was like, how is this partnered streamer hanging out with us little folk? And so it was kind of cool when you came in, you're like, yeah, I got my check mark. And I was like, what's a check mark? It's like, I'm verified, I'm partnered. And I'm like, what are you doing here? Why are you hanging out with us? We little folk. And so eventually, when you mentioned last week, you were talking with him about it, they are billions. It's like, oh, okay. It's very interesting to see how different things are. So, like, you have your game, and my brother streams too. He has his game that his people come for, and they like watching, and the interaction isn't what I anticipated for that many viewers. So, like, if I have 5 viewers and no one chatting, I'm like, oh my god, what am I doing wrong? Whereas I've been in your stream, and people just love watching you play. Like, you're doing your thing, and they don't feel the need to constantly be talking to you. So then I come in and it's like, but I want to talk to Beard. And I feel like I'm distracting you, and I feel bad. So it's fun to be able to jump in and see all the different ways people stream. Watching If and When kind of showed me, as a much newer streamer too, that I don't have to be the hype, because when I started it was with a big hype community. Not that it's a bad thing, like it showed me different perspectives, but I don't play Call of Duty. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not constantly like, oh my gosh, this, that, happy energy person. And as I was thinking about that, it's like, I enjoy watching If and When, and he's very low energy, fairly stoic, and when something actually gets to him, it's like, that makes me happy, is trying to like get a reaction out of him. So it was very cool to see all the differences, because then there's people like Poppy Fubar, who is so much energy that I just don't even know what to do with it. Sit around 200 people. Yeah, you do play at a high level, so like I'm trying to learn. And Fonty, hello. By watching you, I keep lurking and trying to understand, but I'm so lost. I just need to get in there when you don't have anyone yet, so you can explain the game beginning to end to me. I don't know. I tried playing Valheim with If and When, and I don't know what it is with me in that game, but I think in the first hour I died 8 times. And I was getting real salty. It took me 3 hours straight through to try and build a house. As soon as I finished building the house, a troll showed up and destroyed it. So 3 hours of work destroyed in less than 1 minute. I don't know if I technically rage quit, but that I felt bad. I'm like, oh, well, I gotta go. I'm done. He's like, oh, well, I was just hanging out with you. And I was like, but you weren't even hanging out with me. You're on the other side of the map, which makes it 10 times harder for me by myself with no weapons. Fonty, I just finished. We're hanging out and eating. So we have a mac and cheese poutine with andouille sausage, homemade gravy. So we've got homemade mac and cheese. We've got the French fries. We got the gravy. We got sausage. And then I just topped it with some green onion for color and taste. Wow. So my plan with this lunchtime stream was under an hour of cooking, and then maybe hanging out for a half hour while I eat, and then I'll go clean up without you guys. You don't need to be there for me cleaning up. Fonty, thank you for the bets. That's awesome. The food did turn out really well. So I posted the recipe in my Discord. I can walk you through how I did it if you have questions watching the video. I will try to edit. I'm just trying to figure out what. Oof, yes, go check on your sister, Beard. I'll still be here. Infinite Logic, hello. Welcome back, bud. I'm sorry I missed you earlier. I tried to get up in time. 3 months in a row. Wow. I have been streaming 3 months now. 2 more days and it's going to be 4 months of streaming technically. It's so weird to me. It's weird to think back, like, even in this amount of time, how many times I've changed on streaming and what I'm doing. Gosh, I'm getting so confused. What day is it? It's Tuesday. That's right. I still have yet to make it to one of your coffee streams because I'm not awake. Founder's badge, yes. I do want to come to one of your coffee streams. It came out very well. I've been working on it, so I've never made gravy before. So I was really pleased. The homemade macaroni and cheese is delicious. I used a Cajun andouille sausage for the gravy, And so it adds a really nice kick to it. I didn't add any extra salt or pepper outside of what's in the butter and salting the water. So for me, it's just right because the Cajun seasoning of the sausage balances it out. If you get plain sausage or you do something different, definitely season. Salt, pepper. I would probably add Cajun seasoning because I like a spicy. Instead of cheddar mac, I did Mexican cheese, which is what I tend to do. And that also played well with the Cajun andouille sausage. There's not a whole lot of flavor. Normally I spice my mac and cheese, but I wanted the gravy to be the star of the dish. So if I were to eat the mac and cheese on its own, I'd probably add something. Since I'm going to be using some of the gravy on Thursday's stream, I might just mix the sausage straight into the macaroni because that's delicious. Fonty might stream tonight. Awesome. I'm trying a bunch of different things. So Infinite was telling me yesterday that he streamed from his phone and didn't have issues. So I need to look into why I'm having issues streaming from my phone. It seems most likely now that it's my phone not playing well with all the upgrades because my phone is a few years old. So I need to look into what those cost. If people like that idea. Other couple thoughts are if people really like the gaming streams, then I need a new chair. My chair is helpful. I appreciate my family letting me borrow it, but it still hurts my back. Yeah, go to your meeting. Thank you so much, Logic. Like, thanks for talking yesterday and working stuff out. Like I said, I'm not mad at anybody. Everyone's got to do whatever they got to do. And I know we're all just going through stuff. Like, I'm going through my stuff, and I'm trying to not put that on people. Streaming adds a whole extra layer of stuff to go through. Yeah, I don't know if it was my network connection. If on here, I'm not. This is a tablet. I'm using my Surface Pro. And this one is 5 years old. Yes, I do know that there's mobile apps for streaming. I streamed straight from Twitch, and in 35 minutes of streaming, when I was outside of my house, only 5 minutes of it I was live and it didn't tell me. I tried streaming on Saturday from my phone, and while I was cooking, that was just a struggle. But it seemed to do better with the Wi-Fi. I haven't gone back to watch the video yet. So if I want to do stuff outside, I have to work off my mobile network. I like this idea. I want to do that. But I don't know if the problem is my mobile network, which according to Logic it shouldn't be, or if it's the fact that my phone is old. 3 years shouldn't be considered old, but apparently it is. I think we're getting close to 4 years, so that's why I'm just trying to decide like what I want to try and put money towards next. So I could do things to upgrade my cooking streams if people really like those. I could do things to upgrade gaming streams like my chair, which hurts my back. Having a tripod for the kitchen would be nice instead of stacking it on top of a bunch of empty boxes. Does not make me nervous at all. If people like the idea of me doing gardening streams and walking streams and park streams, like being able to go out and do stuff and hang out with people through streaming, which is something I would like to do, then I'll have to put a goal for the phone. Yeah, words. The mac and cheese with the crunch of the fries is so good. I've never tried it before, and I don't know why. because I love French fries and I love mac and cheese. But having those nice crunchy French fries on top of those super soft cheesy mac, so good. So yeah, when I tried streaming from mobile, I didn't like that I didn't have any control, so I didn't try through Streamlabs. But I also have to watch my battery, and so I was just going as minimal as possible. Because on Saturday I did have someone come in and start making inappropriate comments, but through the Twitch Direct app, I had no way to kick them or ban them or do anything. I had zero control over my chat, which scares me. If people like the art streams, then there are things I can do to upgrade those. I just am trying to gauge what people like. And everyone just says, well, do what makes you happy. The thing is, I like making other people happy. So we're all just kind of figuring it out together. I don't know. And then I guess this is also lagging. So I'll have to go back and check the videos. So I don't know if it's lagging because I'm using a Surface Pro that's 5 years old. I don't know if it's lagging because I need to upgrade my internet. I don't know. It's very frustrating, but understandable. I'm just trying different things to see what works, what I like. Because I want to have a good stream for people. But if no matter what I'm doing with what I've got isn't going to cut it, I don't know which upgrade's going to make the most difference for you guys. I don't know. Trying not to get disheartened, but nothing seems to be working right now. Except this food. This food is definitely working. So good. I did have an idea that if I get a P.O. box, people could send me ingredients that they want to see me work with. If there's something weird you want to see me try and mess around with. I just, again, don't want to, like, preemptively get a P.O. box and then have no one use it, and I'm spending money that I don't have on something that's unnecessary. I did sign up, so now you can send me treats from my page. I think I have to double check. Because my thought was, if I ever receive food, cake decorating. Oh, that's a good idea, Kat. I've been thinking about making a cake lately, because I have all this flour. I definitely have cocoa, and I love chocolate cake. I'll have to double check if I have the right stuff for icing. Fonty, I know that eventually I'll get the upgrades. It's just I don't know which upgrade to go for first, what's going to make the most difference, what people want. Like, what do you guys want from me? Not that you guys want anything in particular from me. It's just, I don't know. The easiest is to literally turn on my computer and play a game. But I want the interaction, and it's hard to have those interactions while I'm playing a game, which is why I like hanging out with Kat. I do like the Jackbox games. I like the Among Us. I like marbles and anagrams. I've been looking at the Golf with Friends multiple times. Yeah, I do like the idea of voting on the theme for the decorations. I've also thought of doing things where, like, on my Discord, you can vote how many ingredients I get to cook with each week, or maybe voting on, like, what the star ingredient should be. I just tend to try and get my grocery order in on Sunday if I'm going to cook on Wednesday. So I've got to figure out how to time this. Kat, I've looked at recreating anime food. My original thought when I was cooking was to do the themed cookbooks, like the Dungeons and Dragons cookbook. There's a Firefly cookbook. I have a True Blood cookbook. Those start calling for some weird ingredients and they get expensive really fast. So it could be something like a community goal. If you want me to recreate something, it's just a lot of times those are specialty. And up here in Michigan, as I'm sure you know, in Canada, it's kind of hard to find some of these specialties. Yeah. So I have lots of ideas. I just don't know which one to focus on. So I'm kind of just throwing like 10 different noodles at the wall. I can't even just say throwing spaghetti at the wall because I'm throwing more than just spaghetti. So yeah, as like a community goal, I want people involved. I want to feel like I want people to feel like they're included. That's my goals. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to go about it without overstretching a budget I don't have. While also doing necessary upgrades, because I do need to upgrade my internet. I just don't know to what level. And then if I upgrade the internet and in like a month after upgrading my internet, instead I'm doing stuff outside in the garden, that's kind of a waste of money. And once I upgrade, I can't go back to the same deal I have now. So I'll be kind of stuck. Yeah. That's just what I've been dealing with these last 2 weeks and why I'm still kind of technically on a break, but not. And that's why we're trying these lunchtime. Even cold, this is still good. I do like that the closed captions show me where my accent comes in. Because I said cold, and it says called. And here it says cold. Cold. Emphasize. Putting the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. Closed captions, straight up. I do like the closed captions, especially right now. Like I'm chewing, so I'm covering my mouth. But for someone like myself, I need to see Cat. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. And Gillette with bits too. Thank you guys. Now I'm distracted. Okay. Focus. So if I'm sitting here eating, which I tend to do a lot, but not as much as I think I do. If I'm covering my mouth, I have no idea what someone's saying. It's a weird disconnect in my brain where if I can't see the mouth, the sounds get messed up. So I prefer subtitles and less sound. And even though I'm not deaf, I still somehow tend to read lips because the sounds get messed up. And if I can see the shape the mouth is making, then I can properly assume what's being said. On the plus side, I'm really good at reading context for things. So when people are saying something, but that's not exactly what they're saying, I'm pretty good at figuring out what they intended to say and helping them out because I'd have to like piece it together in my own brain. Okay. Yeah. Well, like, especially right now. So again, I'm having a really bad pain day. It happens. And that's also why I'm kind of taking a break. Spring is really rough for me because Michigan went from being like 0 degrees to 50 degrees to 20 degrees. And now we're up to 60. Like it just wreaks havoc on my body. And so I have a really hard time processing anything because I'm spending so much energy distracting myself from the pain I'm in because there's nothing we can do about the pain. So I feel bad. Gosh, I'm losing my words. So that's another thing. Like, my energy is taken up elsewhere. My brain can't do the extra processing on sound input. My brain can barely process what it's trying to think and say because it's focusing its energies elsewhere. And for me, it's hard to put that online and be like, hey, I look and sound like a complete idiot right now. I promise I'm not. I am college educated. I have good ideas. I just can't convey them to you right now because I hurt. And it's embarrassing. I'm 30, but my body thinks I'm in my 80s and wants to break apart on me. But at the same token, I don't want to sit in bed. So I woke up early. I'm like, do I need to cancel today? I don't want to. I really want to see how this works. I've already put off cooking the sausage for almost a week. It had already been defrosted. But I also have some tinnitus, which might also be complicating any auditory processing issues I may or may not have. And so again, I've been reading subtitles with anime since I was like 3. I don't know. It just is easier for me to see the text and mix that with the sound, especially with cartoons because they don't have the mouth shapes. What does my tinnitus sound like? Oh gosh. I have different ones that happen. So like I hear electronics and that I'm rubbing down here. I like feel it low in my ear canal. Haley, thank you so much for the bits. I appreciate that so much. We're just kind of chillax. I probably should have switched it over to just chatting, but I didn't feel like it. So for me, like if I hear electronics, the cable for this, my laptop or my Surface Pro, when I was working, I ran over the cable with my chair. It rolled over it. And so I can hear it when it's plugged in, which is probably why I unplugged it and forgot to plug it back in. And it's like a really high-pitched squeal that hits the top of my ear, but then reverberates like right in here and will make me nauseous. A lot of times it's kind of like a mid-tone towards the center, so it's bouncing out closer to the back. It's like behind the sinuses is where it's bouncing. And then there are times where it feels like I get smacked over the head, so my entire side I suddenly can't hear, and it's just this really loud tone, but it changes which side. So I try to be good, but there have been times where I'm on a Discord call and all of a sudden I'm just like making weird faces. And so far no one's called me on it, but it's because I just got hit over the head with tinnitus. So it's just kind of a weird one. I've been checked and I apparently still have pretty good hearing. But I don't know if it's that I have workarounds for the processing or because I actually have good hearing. Because most of my life just seems to be making it work, in the words of Tim Gunn, because I love that show. It's like, oh, you're in a lot of pain? Well, we're just going to walk around it. Loud noises, yeah. My friends don't come over and watch TV, A, because pandemic, but B, because I always have closed captioning on, and they hate subtitles. And also, my TV, I refuse, it goes up to 100, but mine doesn't go above a 6. It's, even at like an 8, it's too loud for me. Whereas most of the time they have it at like a 12. So I'm sitting there at their place Like, I have no idea what's going on. I'm just kind of reading lips, trying to drown out as much sound as possible and like nod at the pretty pictures. But then I can also go to like metal concerts and have no problem. So I don't know where it sits. And it's something I've been wanting to look into, but I don't know who to go to, and my doctors are switching things around, and we're in a pandemic, so trying to get new doctors is a problem. Sorry, my cat is special. All right. Come on, come say hi. You cannot have food, and I know that's what you're doing. Yeah, see, it took her about 2 seconds to look at food. Laura, I'm sorry you have to deal with the tinnitus too. Like, it's definitely not fun in any way, shape, or form. So I'm just trying to make the space I'm creating as accessible as possible in as many ways as possible, because I know firsthand, maybe not to the extent as others, but I do understand the frustrations. Yeah. It sucks feeling like you don't have a place in this world, where at the same time you're being told that everyone should have a place, but yet there's no place for you. Well, that's something I've been struggling with. But my food is cold, and I do need to clean up. So I should probably find someone to raid. Which means I need my phone to tell me. Oh man, I just stubbed my toe. Whew. That's what we like to do when you're already in a lot of pain. Ugh. Okay. We're doing things. We got this. Oh, cool. Poppy submitted his partner app. That's good. Who else is on? I'm so not used to streaming at this time of day. It's kind of weird. Let me see. Call of Duty, Call of Duty, Call of Duty. Zombies? I don't know if I've rated Bonsai. I kind of feel bad rating Bonsai, but at the same time, I think she'd appreciate it. So Bonsai is also a partnered streamer. She's someone from the creators. So when I was watching Twitch videos on how to get started, she's part of the Makers and Crafting. She does woodworking, and it's really cool. So we'll see if we can raid over to her. I know it's not a ton of viewership right now, but I think that's going to be closer to what we're kind of doing. Make sure I got that spelled correctly. Awesome. So thank you all for hanging out. Like I said, we're going to be back, or I'm going to be back Thursday around the same time, noon Eastern, for more poutine. I'm doing a Big Mac version. Being a legend. I'm trying. We're figuring things out little by little. So again, thank you. Show some love. I hope you enjoy Bonsai. She is a very sweet streamer, has been doing it quite a while, and is awesome with interactions. So thank you again. I will see you Thursday, if not sooner, and have a great day.